Let's make one thing very clear. The Cavaliers are a substantially better team than the Miami Heat. They're honestly not even in the same realm. And what we saw today is a 1 seed versus a 10 seed. Let's not forget that, right? And that's part of the reason that I do hate the playing game. I've always hated the playing game. And of course, as a Heat fan, a lot of people might call me hypocritical because we never would have made the 2023 finals if not for the play-in. Well, I guess that's not true because the Heat weren't the 9th or 10th seed. They would have been in the play-in, or they would have been in the playoffs anyways. But I've always hated the play-in because, for one, why play a whole 82-game season just for someone to get screwed over in a 2-game sample size to end the year? I just think that's stupid. I don't think that's fair to the Atlanta Hawks who fell out of the playoffs for the Miami Heat to get in. And on top of that, if a team like the Heat does get hot and go on a 2-game run to make the playoffs, they are still way worse than whoever they're going to be playing. Meaning that the product that you're getting in the first round is going to look like this. It's going to look like tonight. It's going to look like this series, which was the Miami Heat today going down 3-0 to the Cleveland Cavaliers after a 37-point loss at home. The definition of belt to ass. Cleveland came to Miami and brought the buzzsaw with them. And I want to give them a lot of credit because that's a damn good team. Not better than me, though. Hey, it's telling me that 56.7% of y'all don't know that the Heat are going to win in 7. So y'all tripping. Subscribe to fix that. Let's get back into the video. But all of that to the side, I want to talk about the Miami Heat this video because what we saw today was truly a pathetic performance. And again, they are completely outmatched and outclassed from a talent standpoint. So I don't want to make it all about effort or missing shots. They're a worse team. But there's still a lot of things that we saw today that are just truly inexplicable. And not even just from an on-the-court basketball standpoint, but from a roster-building standpoint. For one, let's start with something that's not even on the basketball court. First playoff home game, right? Down 2-0. You kind of got your ass kicked the last 2 games. You had a nice rally after game 2 to try to make it close, but you fell short. You had a lot of turmoil, animosity happening after the game between Darius Garland and Tyler Herro. And Darius Garland basically called out Tyler Herro and his defense. We talked about that in yesterday's video, but then today, Darius Garland didn't even play, which that guy is soft for not playing. How you going to talk all that trash and then not play? But either way, the Heat were fired up. You had Spoelstra cursing in his media availability. He said, why they talking bleep? They only up 2-0. You had Davion Mitchell saying we going to attack him. You had Tyler Herro saying, I know I suck at defense, but so does he, which is also kind of a soft thing to say. But anyways, this Heat team appeared that they were going to be fired up. You're back home. And you would think that the Heat organization would want to do something to show the fans appreciation for sticking with them throughout this just awful, dreadful season. And by that, I mean, give out T-shirts. Put T-shirts on the damn chairs for all the fans that spend a lot of their hard-earned money to go in attendance. And the Heat did nothing. At least they didn't do T-shirts. I don't know if they ended up doing towels or anything. I don't think so. You wouldn't know because if they did do towels, there wasn't a lot of moments for Heat fans to wave them around in excitement because after being up 9 in the first few minutes of the game, the Cavs were basically blowing us out every second since then. But the point is, I saw on the Heat Twitter, they posted, get your official Heat playoff shirt for $35. $35 for one of those, I promise you, not high-quality T-shirts. It's the exact T-shirts they used to give away for free at the games. I remember going to playoff games as a kid. That was one of the most exciting things. You get there, you get a shirt. Everyone puts it on. You're all matching. And the Heat team, they're just so cheap that they can't even do that. Can't even pay respect to all the fans that sat through them this year and can't give them shirts. It seems trivial, truly. But when you look at every other team in the playoffs doing it, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they got their white out going too. You got the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's something that brings the fans together and shows appreciation. And they can't even do that. And then outside of all that, to get blown out at home in a basically winner go home game because now you're down 3-0. You obviously have no chance to win. That being said, don't let us get one to get in my Jaylen Brown bag because I do acknowledge if the Heat win game 4, they might rope me back in a little bit. But that's just because I'm an optimistically ignorant fan who always falls for the rope-a-dope. But anyways, you come into this game. I'll go through the notes real quick here because I basically stopped writing things down after the second quarter. But you come into this game here. You had Bam start with a three immediately, and when he shot it, I was like, "Oh God, here we go again." Because last game, Bam took 9 shots, 5 of them were threes. 5 of them. He needs to get in the paint more, attack those bigs, Allen and Mobley, make them actually guard you. But he did hit the 3 to start the game, so I'm thinking, oh, okay, here we go. Khalil Ware had a couple nice baskets. You were up 15-6, and then the Cavs called timeout, and they proved why they're the better team after that. I think after the timeout, the Heat had like 3 straight turnovers, and the Cavs would basically finish that first quarter on a 27-5 run to be up 13 at the end of 1. The Cavs defense was absolutely smothering. Ty Jerome was once again out playing Tyler Herro. Jerome had 4 points and 5 assists. Tyler Herro had 4 points and 1 assist. So just from the jump, all of their guys were out playing us. And trust me, we'll get into the Heat players because I don't want to pick on Tyler Herro this video. I certainly don't want to do that because everybody was terrible. Literally everybody was bad except for Davion Mitchell. He's been the one guy every game. He's been good. Literally the only guy. But yeah, outside of him, everyone sucked. Jared Allen basically was getting whatever he wants. He was making Khalil Ware look non-existent out there. And all of that happened with Donovan Mitchell just having 1 point. And then you go into the second quarter. Donovan Mitchell started off with a 3-pointer immediately. And then he was clamping up Davion Mitchell, forced a shot clock violation. Just doing things that a superstar does. Because a lot of people may look at the box score today and say, Donovan Mitchell only had 13 points on 4-14 shooting. I promise you he was much better than anybody that the Heat put out there, except for Davion Mitchell. Because he had some big shots, he had some timely shots, and he was playing with energy. Seriously, I don't really want to make this video about effort because I think the Heat guys care. But if you're watching the games, you can see that nobody on our roster is trying as hard as Davion Mitchell. Nobody's trying as hard as Donovan Mitchell either. Nobody's trying as hard as Ty Jerome out there or Jared Allen, who's flying for loose balls. Nobody's trying as hard as DeAndre Hunter. You can see a difference in how bad these teams want it. And maybe it's because deep down the Heat roster is tired of each other. Maybe it's because they know they need a shakeup. They've needed a shakeup for years now. Maybe it's because they have no shot to win this series. But at the end of the day, if you're watching the games, it just doesn't look like they're trying as hard as everyone out there, excluding Davion Mitchell. That's what we're talking about. I even saw clips of Damian Lillard locking down Tyrese Halliburton yesterday. Do or die game for the Bucks. They're down 2-0, and they came out with a different just effort level and won. That's why I think defense is about effort. It really is. I was listening to the 5 Reasons podcast, and they were talking about Tyler Herro. And, he can't be a good defender because he wasn't gifted with the tools. Tyler Herro is like 6'4", 6'5", with okay athleticism. We've seen him have some nice dunks out there. It's not like he's Goran Dragic out there laying up the ball every chance he gets. He can move. It is an effort thing. Now, he'll never be an all-world defender because he has a negative wingspan and he's not Amen Thompson athletically, but he has enough tools to be better than he is. If Damian Lillard can go out there and sit in the chair and guard Tyrese Halliburton for a whole game, Tyler Herro can do the same. But you're watching him guard Donovan Mitchell, and he's just standing up. He's flat-footed. It's just, there's levels to this. There really, really is. I mean, Davion Mitchell is like 6'1". And yes, he's built. Yes, he's very strong, but he's still very short. But he is a great defender because of his heart. That's what really separates him from everyone else. So point is, although you look at Donovan Mitchell and you look at his box score and he wasn't great, I promise you, there's just a different level of energy out there that he's playing with. The Heat were down 20 at half, and that's all I wrote really for this game. In the third quarter, there was a hard Bam Adebayo fall where he tried jumping over Haywood Highsmith and got taken out. Like, now the Heat team is taking out their own players. We saw similar plays with Jimmy Butler and John Morant, but at least those guys got taken out by the opposing team. The Heat guys are taking out their own team. It's just ridiculous. Listen, I know a lot of people are watching the end of this game and saying, oh, this is what the Heat get for making the playoffs because now you lost your lottery pick this year and you got a one-way ticket to get your ass kicked by the Cavaliers. And it's like, I agree with you. I didn't want to make the playoffs. I made that very clear. I much preferred to have the 2 first-round picks in this loaded lottery. But it's like, what did you want the Heat to do? Did you want them to go out there in that playing game and start Kashad Johnson and Isaiah Stevens, who was a two-way player, couldn't even play? But you know what I'm saying? What did you want them to do? They have to put their players out there. The players played hard and they won. I mean, it's unfortunate it turned out that way, at least in the short term, because like I've been saying, you never really know what's going to happen, because maybe the Heat missed the playoffs, draft a bust in 2025, or we get this scenario, the Heat made the playoffs, they keep their 2026 pick, and maybe we draft a Hall of Famer. Who knows? Obviously, that seems like a bit of a reach now, and in the short term, I agree, they obviously should have missed it, but we'll see what happens. But either way, it's like, what did you want the Heat to do? They put their guys out there, they won. They couldn't do anything else about it. You have to try to win, and they did. That's all. If you're watching this video, then you are an elite ball knower, so why not take advantage of it with MyBookie? Listen, y'all, throughout the NBA playoffs, I'll be using their live betting feature to smash the Davion Mitchell overs and smash the Rudy Gobert unders, and then using their early cash out option to stack up the profits. If you want to do the same, make sure to sign up for MyBookie using promo code MM50, which will instantly boost your first deposit. And then once the games wrap up, you can check out their casino, which has blackjack and slots and roulette. You name it, bet on anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. Now let's get back into the video. And now the biggest downside is if the Heat would have missed the playoffs, they would have had 4 tradable first, where right now they technically have 3. I know in the past I've said they still have 4, and that's because they technically do. It's because that 2027 pick to Charlotte for Terry Rozier, which just makes my blood boil every time I say that. It has protections on it. If they amend those protections, they could actually move it to unprotected in 2028, and then that would allow the Heat to still have 4 tradable first. But it would have been better to already have the 4 tradable first, because you're looking at an offseason where, hey, maybe the Bucks still lose in the first round and Giannis wants out. Timberwolves are looking good right now. They're up 2-0, but if they lose, maybe Anthony Edwards wants out. Maybe Trae Young is available. I don't know if the Heat fans want him, but maybe he's available. Ja Morant, Grizzlies are probably going to get swept. Maybe he becomes available. It's just there will be guys who will potentially be available, and as a Heat team that just they need to do something. They need to get some sort of 1A, because very clearly now we know they don't have a 1A for a championship contender. It would have just been smart to have the most assets available. And I mean, listen, there's been a lot of talk about the whole Bam and Tyler, can they be 1As? There should be no debate no more. I mean, I know Tyler Herro stands are as passionate a group as anyone out there, and I really do respect that about them. I appreciate that, because at the end of the day, I too support Tyler Herro because he plays for my team. But there's no excuses no more. You had a playoff series last year versus Celtics. No Jimmy Butler. Bam and Tyler were the guys. Tyler Herro was awful in every game except that game 2. This year, Bam and Tyler are the only guys. They are the guys. No Jimmy Butler. Tyler Herro has been awful in every game except game 2. He can't be the guy. And we'll get into Bam Adebayo, who scored 22 points today, but do not get it twisted. He also sucked. He was no good. Let's get into the box score here, because I want to talk about a little bit about each player here. We'll go ahead and start with Andrew Wiggins. 10 points on 3 of 10 shooting. He is not good, at least at what the Heat are trying to make him into, which is the guy, 20-point per game scorer. I think he can be a nice complementary piece on a team that has Steph Curry. We've seen it, but not on this Heat team. And I put a tweet out, I don't know, a month ago when Wiggins was hurt and missing a bunch of games that said the Andrew Wiggins trade is slowly approaching the awfulness of the Terry Rozier trade. And obviously I was joking a little bit. I understand Terry Rozier is probably the worst trade in Heat history, but the Wiggins one wasn't looking good. He played well when he played, but he was getting hurt too much. But now you're seeing him in the playoffs when it actually matters, and he's not even good anymore, and he is playing. So all things considered, that trade is starting to look just one of the worst in Heat history, because you traded your 3rd best player in franchise history for him. He was the centerpiece. Yes, you got a 1st-round pick. That'll be at 20. Nothing special, truly. Yes, you got Davion Mitchell, but the Heat traded a 2nd-round pick to get him to Toronto. So that's not even technically part of the Jimmy Butler trade. Wiggins was the centerpiece, and you brought him here, he's 30 years old, so he doesn't fit the timeline. He can't stay healthy, and he makes a lot of money for multiple seasons, so he's not the most movable contract, and he's not a needle mover. All aspects considered, that trade is absolutely abysmal. And in the playoffs, he's just been awful, and is not playing with that defensive effort level that you really thought you were getting when the Heat traded for him. He has sucked. Bam Adebayo today, people might look at it, 22 points, 9 rebounds, not a bad night for Bam Adebayo. They might say, oh, 4-7 from 3, okay. No, Bam was not good today. First, you look, he only had 1 assist, and he shot 9 of 20 from the field. So 22 points on 20 shots is not good at all. And you say, hey, how did he hit 4 threes, but he still only had 22 points on 20 shots? Well, 0 free throw attempts. 0 free throw attempts from your athletic monster Bam Adebayo is absolutely inexcusable. He needs to attack the paint to help him mobilize guys like Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Jared Allen did whatever the hell he wanted today. And you talk about a guy attacking, he was attacking. I honestly believe Jared Allen outplayed Bam today. Jared Allen had 22 points and 9 rebounds. Oh, so literally same exact stat line there for Jared Allen, except he shot 89% from the field, 8 for 9. Now, I know he was basically getting set up every play because Donovan Mitchell was looking for him. They really ran some nice plays for him, and the Heat don't have anyone that can set up Bam Adebayo. But I guess that goes to a bigger overall point. In yesterday's video, we also touched on how Bam isn't worth the max extension that he got. Yes, he is elite defensively night in and night out, although that's kind of fallen off a little bit this series. But still, I still think he's the best defender in the world. But if he needs someone else to set him up so he can get his, you're not a max player. A max player should not need anybody else to help them score. And that's the case with Bam Adebayo. And Jared Allen actually really outplayed him today. I feel like if Bam would have attacked him, maybe you could have got Jared Allen some foul trouble. You would have made him work harder defensively, so maybe Jared Allen can't score 22 points offensively. But no, Bam's just settling for jump shots. When he gets into the paint, it's pump, fake, pump, fake, pump, fake, pump, fake, pump, fake. Every single time, you're not making them work for it at all. And that means Jared Allen and Evan Mobley can't do anything tonight, or aren't forced to exert any energy on the defensive end. Mobley tonight, 19 points and 6 rebounds. Yeah, he shot 61%. He was very awesome as well. But even on top of that, we said Bam only had 1 assist, which is not good enough for a guy that has the ball as much as he does. But on top of that, he had 6 turnovers. 1 assist to 6 turnovers from your star franchise cornerstone is disgusting. In a win or go home game, essentially, 1 assist to 6 turnovers is awful. We'll talk about Khalil Ware, who played even less minutes tonight. 18 minutes for him, 8 points, 5 rebounds, shot 60%, 2 or 3 from 3. People will look at the box scoring thing. He played well. No, like literally, Jared Allen made him look like a toothpick out there. And he's a rookie, so I don't want to get on him too hard. But he looked lost there a lot of times there on defense. He was switching way too hard. He was hedging on screens, just allowing Jared Allen to roll to the rim just willy-nilly. And when he was in the paint, he's way too small and skinny to actually put a body on Jared Allen. Just not good at all from Khalil Ware. But I do trust him, as a future prospect. He'll put on some weight and get better. Davion Mitchell today, just to give him some more credit, 16 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 0 turnovers. 5 assists to 0 turnovers. He has been literally the Heat's only good player over like the last month. Seriously, or at least the guy has he had any bad games? I can't even recall. And he shot 64% today. Get Davion Mitchell some help. That's where we're at right now. It's certainly not Tyler Herro, who I wanted so hard for Tyler Herro to come out today and just shut everyone the hell up. After being disrespected by Garland, after everything that happened on Twitter, and even in yesterday's video, I was very critical of him, basically saying that he doesn't deserve the money that he's going to ask for. I did make a mistake. I compared him to Michael Porter Jr. I actually meant Jamal Murray in terms of Denver paying Jamal Murray as much money as they did, because Murray's going to be a guy that's getting paid $50 million next year, and he's not worth it. And when you look at what it's doing to the Nuggets cap space right now, they couldn't afford to keep Bruce Brown, couldn't afford to keep Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and obviously they're having trouble fielding a contender, a championship roster full of depth, and that's because they're overpaying a guy in Michael Porter and Jamal Murray who's not worth it. And I'm just very worried that the same thing's going to happen to the Heat. They're already overpaying Bam Adebayo. You can't do the same for Tyler Herro. You can't do it. Because Tyler Herro today, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 38% from the field, 13 points on 13 shots, and 3 assists to 3 turnovers. He's awful. Oh, my God, he was awful today. And it's just, he had such a good regular season. I know he struggled for like a month and a half, but outside of that, he was so good. And I love Tyler Herro, but consistently in the playoffs, he just doesn't perform. And these good games are not the standard. They're the anomaly. The 37 points as a rookie in the bubble. The 30 points in game 2 this year. The 24 and 14 in game 2 last year versus Boston. Those games are the anomaly. Everything else is just, he is what he is at this point. He's a guy that when defenses can game plan for you, he can't score. And that's not a star. That's not a star. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but it's just not a star. Off the bench, it was nice to see Pella get some runs. 16 minutes for him, got 6 points. Haywood, after becoming Klay Thompson last game, came down to earth, only 3 points today. Jovic, who was terrible last game, 3 points in 19 minutes today. And Duncan Robinson, 6 points in 17 minutes. I mean, you look at the way this roster is built. You have $70 million committed to Wiggins, Duncan, and Terry Rozier. Between those three guys, $70 million. Between those three guys, they combined today for 16 points. And a lot of those was in garbage time, too. 16 points. And we'll start with Terry Rozier. Didn't play today, has an ankle sprain. Somehow the guy never plays. He's not a part of the rotation and still sprains his ankle. But I'm still counting him because even if he was healthy, we know he wouldn't have played. He's not in the rotation. And you traded a first round. Oh, my God. I can't even continue talking about Terry Rozier. Just to think about, you traded a first-round pick, and you're going to have no asset. We know what's going to happen this offseason. A star is going to become available. The Heat aren't going to get him, and then the media is going to say, listen, the Heat tried, but the other team wanted Bam Adebayo. No shit, because you have no other assets. Because you traded your assets for Terry Rozier and Andrew Wiggins. That's why. That's why you have no assets. 0 points. The guy can't play. First-round pick, $25 million. Duncan Robinson today, what he hit? He had 2 threes today. Or no, he had 1 3 today. 1 3. $20 million for Duncan Robinson. Andrew Wiggins, 30% from the field. Just so much money committed to guys who are not good. And then way too much money committed to Bam Adebayo, who is not worth it. And then they're going to do the same thing for Tyler Herro. Oh, this team they're in a bad spot. This offseason will truly determine the entire future of this franchise. Because if they think they're close and they try to go all in, oh my God, would that be the biggest mistake they could ever possibly make? Oh my God. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't really think I got anything else to say today. On the Cleveland side, I mean, yeah, Donovan Mitchell, 13 points. They literally won by 40 points in a game where their best player scored 13 points. What does that tell you about the talent disparity this team has compared with them? I don't know. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. I think the next game, the last game, hopefully is on Monday. Put us all out of our misery. We'll see what happens. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe. All the support is greatly appreciated. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. I don't know. I'll be coming to y'all with tons of content, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. See y'all on the next one. Peace out, everyone.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.